Hiring a graduate to run your social media and marketing accounts, and assuming that because they're young they'll know what to do, and my rule of thumb is the person who's running your social media accounts, who's publishing on your company's behalf on Facebook or Twitter, should be somebody you would be comfortable sending to the FT to be interviewed on behalf of your brand. And if you're not comfortable with them doing it because they're a graduate and they've only been with your company for 3 weeks, and you don't think that they would interview well with the FT, then they shouldn't be running your social media accounts.
Not listening to feedback. There's still brands out there not listening to people speaking about them in social platforms. Not trying to develop it or putting strategy behind it or trying to entwine it into an integrated marketing approach. I guess people just trying to sell, actually. I still don't believe it's kind of acquisition, sell. I still need more than that. Even if I follow you and you're an e-retailer, I don't want to hear about kind of what you sell all day, every day. It's just not really what I'm looking for.
I think it's that they're not listening to their customers and what people are actually saying. The whole point of social media is to engage and be engaging. And a lot of companies are just ignoring if there's any complaints or feedback, or sometimes even praise. People should be, getting on top of it, making sure that, they're thanking people, that they're engaging and creating that kind of relationship between the brand and the person. One big one was a train company who I think they received a phenomenal amount of complaints over one day in Christmas last year, and they didn't get back to anyone on Twitter. And you just think, that these are your customers. If you're not giving them a time of day, then they will go elsewhere.
There's this perception that someone can do social media by either creating a Facebook account, and then once it's a Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, once it's created, you've done social media. And there's countless companies out there that have got the Facebook, Twitter, whatever else, Google Plus logos on their website, but you actually click on the link and they haven't updated since October 2010. So I think if you're going to do it, you need to dedicate resource to it, whether that's in-house or using an agency. I think you're opening that channel up. You need to both communicate with your potential prospects and your current clients, customers as well.
Launching onto whichever is the kind of newest channel or even the existing channels without having a strategy behind that and a content plan and understanding how that's going to work in workflow, how is it going to function within the individual business and actually deliver to the bottom line. So thinking about the objectives and the strategy behind that before launching out onto those platforms. I think as a part of that, the social listening piece is absolutely key. So if you're not listening to what your customers or your audiences are saying about you or saying about those issues that are important to you as a brand, then you're also missing a trick in terms of tailoring that content to what is going to resonate with the people that you're ultimately trying to reach.
I think the biggest mistake that people make is not understanding either the users or what they're trying to achieve from use of social media. So I think it's a matter of working out who you're trying to target, what conversation you're trying to have with them, and where you want to push them. And so be that a piece of customer service where you want to deal with an inquiry or a complaint in a discreet and timely manner, or is it a sale? They're entirely different things, but I think at the moment there's an assumption that people say we must do social. We must have a Facebook, we must have a Twitter, but without any underlying strategy behind the content and the activity there, it becomes a waste of time, and at some point it can even become counterproductive.
I think the fact that they're still distinguishing it as this standalone thing that they're calling social media rather than having it as an integrated part of their strategy and quite a crucial part of their strategy, and it should be something that's addressed at every interval when marketing campaigns and PR campaigns are put together. Then if social media is right for them or if certain channels are right for them, they should be addressed at that time. So I think that their biggest mistake is still pigeonholing this off as something completely separate, which I don't believe that it is.
Your future is our business.